We're going to share some RV travel tips, really just some travel tips in general.
These are some things that we've found just make our travel go a little bit better. So stick around to the end. Hopefully you'll find something that makes your traveling go a little bit easier.
One thing that I've constantly had a problem with while driving, and I just, for whatever reason, haven't done anything to mitigate, has been having jeans or shorts or something just make it very uncomfortable for me, particularly in my crotch after long journeys.
Yeah, and so I suggested that he maybe just wear some of the, silky basketball shorts that he had. And he said, well, he got rid of those in a recent downsize. And
Yeah, and one of the other things that was concerning to me, well, there was a couple things about wearing the silky satiny type basketball shorts. I wanted to make sure that whatever I did wear was, readily presentable, and going into a fuel station or jumping out to go into a convenience store or what have you, and those will do the trick. But my secondary thing was perplexing too, and that was everything that I seemed to put in my pockets in those things. Once you're sitting down, especially if there's bouncing around and things like that, your wallet can come out, different things that you have in your pockets, and I like to be able to keep those things in my pocket so that I don't just jump out without them and have to go back to the truck or whatever. And so we kind of put that on the back burner and everything, and I thought it was a great idea that Susan had, because that would be really comfortable and manageable. And we were in a store one day and we happened to see those shorts, and Susan said, "Hey, look at these," and everything. And I kind of had that look on my face like I thought we already talked about this, and just didn't get anywhere. But as I look closer, the pockets actually have zippers on them. So I was really intrigued then, because I obviously just zip up my wallet and keep it from falling out.
another thing that we do when we're traveling is we have a separate bank account that we use for our travel expenses. And we basically just transfer the money that we're going to use, or that we feel we're going to use for that day, into that account for that day, rather than have, just your main account with whatever you have in it. And this helps for a couple of reasons. One is budgeting. It makes me, kind of realize what we're spending each day and keep us within whatever budget we have set for the trip.
Yeah, and another one is the security aspect of it. You don't have all of your eggs in one basket,
Yeah.
so to speak. The money that you have in there is just what you've allocated for the day. And there have been a couple times with actually separate banks that we've had our debit cards accessed by criminals. One of them, we'd gotten a call saying, "Are you in Virginia right now?" And we weren't. We were in like Nevada or something, and they said that somebody's using your card there. And I know exactly where it happened. There was a guy that was at the fuel pump, and he said, "Here, I'll get your card on this side," because at some of the truck stations they have pumps on both sides, and you have to use the card slide on one side and then use the pump fill on the other of your vehicle. And so when he did that, he had turned his back to me with my card, and he was really quick about it. But that's the only time that we had actually had the card out of our hands, and I'm really good at looking for those skimming devices and stuff that are attached that they use. And then another time we had Susan was looking at the online banking and noticed that there was charges going on all over a town that we were in, and so somebody was doing that. And both times the banks were right on top of it. They shut that down and didn't. We didn't skip a beat with our funding. They backed it up and everything, so that was good. But anyway, it's
Yeah.
it's a good way to
Most
do
of the
it.
banks are pretty good about spotting potential fraud and notifying you of it, but sometimes if somebody's, in the same area that you're in and they don't catch it, it could only take an hour or less for them to empty your bank account out.
Right.
So if you only have, a certain amount in there that you're planning to spend for that day, then at least it's not going to be more than that.
While backpacking, I've carried a satellite tracking device or a personal locator beacon, PLB. And these devices are great. If you're out in the wilderness and something happens, you can push a button and it'll use satellite technology to get people to come to your rescue. They vary in their technologies and what they can do, but one of them that I used, you could actually do a 911 type of thing, and the sheriff's department in the local area would actually get it and then come looking for you. But anyway, what was neat about these is that you could also drop waypoints along the trail, and your friends and family, loved ones, they could track you along the way. They could see your progress. Well, they've made these to where you can also use them on the road, for example, for roadside assistance and things like that. But I thought, they do come with a subscription price and that you have to maintain, and I just don't use it enough to make that worth it right now. So what I did is I looked for an app that I could use, hopefully for free, and I found one. And so with this app, while we're traveling, it will actually show our progress on a map, and then you share a link with your family or whoever you want to share the link with, and then they can actually see your exact location everywhere. And you want to be a little careful with that, because they can actually, they can't see you in the restroom, but they know you're in there. If you just like to be private about what you're doing, you might want to turn it off at certain pause it. There's a pause button there that you can pause it. But anyway, it's a great way for people to follow along. We enjoyed that.
It really helps, with peace of mind, knowing that, your family knows where you're at, and if suddenly you stop someplace for a long period of time that you weren't planning to be stopped, maybe that there's some kind of issue going on, or you take a different route than you told them you were going to take, then maybe that's some cause to, hey, what's going on? So it definitely gives you a little bit more peace of mind knowing that people can follow along and make sure that you're getting to where you're planning to be.
Right, and if you're on your way to see them, they'll
know where you're at.
They'll know when you're getting there.
Something I recently discovered is dry shampoo. Now this comes in really handy if we're doing some dry camping, or say the campground that you're at, the showers are closed, and you don't really want to take the time to take a whole shower while you're traveling, but your hair's kind of flat and messed up. You can just spray this dry shampoo, and it just makes you feel a little bit better because your hair looks a little bit better.
Yeah, I think a lot of people use this, or at least they say they do, and I tried it. I'm not a real big fan of aerosols to begin with, so I kind of choked a little bit when I was using it. I definitely recommend using it outside.
Yeah, for sure.
Certainly. It can be a little bit gaggy. I mean, but it did make my hair feel less oily or whatever, and that goes a long way if you just can't get in there. But obviously, nothing beats soap and water, shampoo and water. This one's going to seem a little bit duh. It's take your phone with you when you leave your vehicle, and there's several reasons for this.
Yeah, one of them is security. Especially if you're stopping at a rest stop in a questionable area, or maybe even just going out into the woods to do what you got to do. You get injured or anything, you want to have that security of having your phone with you for sure. Yeah,
I had that happen one time. I was probably 100 yards away from our vehicle and from Susan, and she was unable to hear my blood-curdling screams, and so I was able to get in touch with her with the phone, and that helped a lot under those circumstances. So another reason why I make sure that I take my phone every single time I leave the vehicle is because I rely on it for video and for photos. And so I've left the vehicle and walked 40, 50 feet and end up running into some type of wildlife or just something really beautiful that might, pass, or I'm just not going to get the shot if I didn't have it with me. So I've learned to make sure that I have it with me and good and charged.
Something that we have come up with is a thing that we call the Potty Pack, that we grab whenever we have to go into, say, a rest area or some type of public restroom that you don't know what they're going to have available there.
Yeah, and in this Potty Pack, or something that rhymes with kit if you prefer, you can call it whatever you like, but for just toning it down a little bit, this Potty Pack will put, I guess, hand sanitizing wipes. We prefer those over just hand sanitizer because it gives us like a little towelette to make sure that we can wipe off instead of just making a slurry on our hands with hand sanitizer. So we like that. And then we'll have the actual toilet wipes. Let's see what else. A little tiny like camping roll of toilet paper. They're usually rolled up pretty tight, and they don't have the cardboard roll in it to go onto a holder, so that gives you more paper in a very small roll. And then we'll even fold up some of those butt gaskets, or whatever you call it, the seat covers. We'll put some of those in there. Anything, because these restrooms, as you know,
Yeah.
they just get really nasty.
Yeah, they're out of soap, they're out of toilet paper. You just never know what you're going to find. Another really good thing about having this little pack is if you're taking your phone with you in the restroom and it doesn't fit in your pocket and there's nowhere to put it, you can just slide your phone into this pack and hang it on the hook, and serves another purpose there.
Like a dedicated potty pack, something that we also like to have dedicated is a shower bag. And this shower bag comes in handy when we get to a park that has a shower to use instead of using our own. And sure, we could gather these things from inside the RV and take them in, but we just like having a dedicated bag that we know that we can just grab when we need it and go right to the showers or whatever outside, whatever we're doing, and we have that all in one place. They aren't things that we have to go and keep gathering and putting into a bag and taking. So everything is dedicated, every single item in it.
Yeah, I found that I would always get to the shower and I forgot the shampoo, or I forgot my shower shoes, or I forgot something. So having this dedicated bag that we know if we're at a shower that we're going to use, we just grab this bag and we're ready to go. Throw in our towel and that's all we need. So if you're interested to know what we put in our dedicated shower bag, let us know in the comments and we'll be happy to do a separate video on that.
We hope that something that we shared in this video was useful to you. If it was, please give us a thumbs up. It helps others to find our videos as well. And we'll be sure to put links to our other travel tips videos so you can enjoy them as well.
And don't forget to share, subscribe, and click on the little notification bell.
Thanks for watching.
So how do those feel?
They feel really comfortable, but people are going to make fun of me.
Just wear them.